there you go. That's better. Yeah, we need some like music over here for Guilty Gear, right? It is a little bit low in the high bar. Let me just like change that a little bit. There you go. Yeah, I'm still live. I was originally like trying to go for like just labbing and impressions. That's it for like Lucy. But then I thought, let me just practice like my Guilty Gear, like, you know, combat, like my flow state in playing like arcade ladder. I mean, I did set it on like easy because I was just curious to see like the story of Lucy. So I was like, you know what? Let me do the arcade ladder. Lo and behold, I did not anticipate like 3 chapters with 3 like similarly fashioned like arcade ladders, like 8, 9 rounds a piece. I'm like, bro, I could do like 1 arcade ladder for 1 character, let's say like a Fatal Fury. I'm not gonna do like 3. That's stretching it. But let's talk about some impressions for Lucy, the first Guilty Gear character of first Guilty Gear character, sorry. First guest character in Guilty Gear like in its entirety, and the last character for season 4, and kind of like the segue into whatever like future Guilty Gear Strive is planning for in the foreseeable future. I think it's like going to be, as most people have theory craft and speculated, like Guilty Gear like Strive Rev or some shit like that, like Exard Rev 2, just adding like 2 characters. That's all for Guilty Gear, because Arc System Works is going to be heading full ass into Marvel Tokon. That's going to be their next big game. But anyway, what can we say about like Lucy? Yeah, like as we have like talked about in the starter guide, or well, as we have talked about, sorry, as I have discussed in the starter guide video that I've made for Lucy. Yeah, her whole game plan is to like well, she has like 2 mechanics that really like excel in her game plan, or want to ignite her game plan, which is the short nerve circuit and the quick hack. Short nerve circuit is when you hit dudes with her quarter circle back move, heavy slash, the mono wire, the charge down move. It inflicts like a staticky field on the opponent, and what that enables Lucy is have more juggle opportunities. So your goal is to set like short nerve status on the opponent, and if you're feeling brazen enough, you can do a quick hack, which allows you to install mods on the opponent, and you can get some really cool bonuses like forced guaranteed counter hit, HP siphon, make the opponent have less risk gain, less tension, you get more tension, shit like that, you know? So the whole game plan is to have Lucy start short nerve circuit and quick hack, right, as fast as possible, like to start her offense, right? As far as like outside of those 2, as far as like her character goes, yeah, pretty much like what I thought of, like mid-screen like character. She has like long like normals, like far slash into like command normal, and then there's like heavy slash, right? She is very good at excelling in the mid screen, and she does have some like mix-up options via her quarter circle back kick into low or cross up. I don't know if it's like an overhead. But she does have like a lot of tools for, you know, opening up the opponent, right? I was doing like some like laissez-faire. I didn't like you know, do any like RC. I was just like doing my own thing, you know, because for Lucy, she is really like a solid character, right? I do like have some like gripes, right? And that's like, I think 2 of them, right? I think like 2 of them, which kind of like makes her a 9 out, no, not a 9 out of 10. I would say like an 8 out of 10 for me, right? A solid like 8 out of 10 for me. And those 2 would be one like her DP, right? One which is like her DP that's not RCable, that's not cancelable in any way, shape, or form, even though she has a really good like reversal. Oh, make that 3. Make that 3. One is her DP, the other is her insta-kill, where we're figuring out like, hey, how do I do like, you know, insta-kill like combos? No. So the insta-kill that Lucy has is really good, right? But you need to have 2 whole bars of meter to activate like the insta-kill move. And you could do it like, you know, like we tried with like 20%, 25, 30, right? But in order for the insta-kill to work, you have to have another like meter, right? So technically 1 full like bar, right? Which is like really like crazy. That's really like expensive. Meter gain is like pretty fast, you know, and that's cool, but like for a full insta-kill like combo, I mean, it can work, but you would hardly ever see it because of how like Strive is with like defensive mechanics like burst and RC or like things like that, right? So there's not much opportunity to like land like really cool like counter hit situations like how I've been doing with like the past like couple of like characters. Are just like not worth it, you know, because Guilty Gear is the way it is like played, you know. The insta-kill stuff is cool, but it's like you definitely have to invest a lot. You have to get a really like good read in order to do like, hey man, an insta-kill combo, bro, that's awesome. You could also do it raw as like, you know, raw like wake up like super, or or empty jump super, run up grab, or run up level 3 or shit like that, you know, right? Those things can like happen, right? So there are other ways. There are other ways to get like the insta-kill, you know, other than just, you know, like finding like combos through the insta-kill. And the other is like the damage scaling, which makes it like 3. A lot of like the combos that we've been like doing are not really like big boy combos, you know. Her like base damage was, I mean, we didn't have like the damage number stats thing when we were doing like the labbing session, but yeah, like she just does relatively like little damage, you know. She's not that great of like massive optimals or like payouts. She just like is a tricky character. She just wants to get the opponent debuffed, right? That's like, again, her game plan, which is not really like a bad thing, but like, man, so many of like the other characters can do really like cool, almost like half health combos, or like, you know, 50% or even like 60 to 75% combos, right? But the fact that like Lucy, you know, the fact that Lucy can't do that, I don't know, man. Like, they gotta like maybe beef her up a little bit, you know? I bet you like Bridget, I haven't played Bridget, I don't play Milia, but I bet you like an example, right? Those 2 characters would have a better like payout of like damage or optimal of damage than like Lucy would have, you know? So it's like, I would say she's like a solid like 8 out of 10 as far as like, you know, where she would like belong in like in a tier list, because FGC is all about like a tier list or tier meta. Probably low A, high B, right? Probably low A, something like that, you know. She is good. She does have like some really cool like normals, and she excels especially like in the mid screen, you know, which, you know, you can convert combos mid screen. Like, it's a really like goddamn cool ass blessing. But it would not be something like a what was it, a Soul or like a Kai. Those are like my S tier like characters, right? Because they have things that, like, you know, can convert off of like anything. Well, maybe after like this patch, right? Because the patch that I slightly like saw is that some characters got nerfed off of like their DPs or some shit. I don't know. It's been so long since I've been keeping up with meta, but all I've heard was like the positive praises of the patch notes, right? So I could be like wrong, right? I could be wrong, but I would say like low A, high B tier for Lucy. I could be proven wrong, unless she could be like my situation like in Street Fighter 6, where like she has to have like flame stocks, right, to get her momentum like going. Nah, she doesn't need to like do that. She still has like good buttons and stuff like that, right? She's considered like an S tier, considering like EWC and Evo, right? All of like the top players are playing her. She's like definitely like an S tier character. I was proven wrong, so maybe I could be proven wrong for Lucy. But that's like my final assessment of Lucy, though. Low A, high B tier, kind of like an 8 out of 10 sort of like character, right? I'm surprised in Evo. I'm surprised in Evo there's no like Unikas, right? There was no Unikas. I considered Unika to be like an S tier character, considering that she's like the most basic bread and butter character there ever is. She is like literally Kai Kisk. But maybe something about her that a lot of like top players didn't like about her, I consider an S tier. Like, she just fits so well. Like, I just understood her very like quickly. Very easy to figure out. And comparatively so to some of the other, like, you know, wackos and like nut jobs in Guilty Gear, where like they have ingrained like in-depth mechanics about them, you know? Even like Soul Bad Guy is not really like the Khaiza Unika arc. Yeah, I would be it. Like, I saw this new update got the ranked match update. I would be down to go back into Guilty Gear again and just like have like a solid character and try out online again. You know, it's been a mad long time since I played Guilty Gear Online, right? I could maybe start with Unika, but I'll probably go back to like my boy Leo Whitefang though. That's like my boy, that's my G.